Good morning everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to my cheap C5 Chevy Corvette. Today we're going to be solving a bunch of small problems that really annoy me. Not necessarily mechanical ones, but just things that annoy me. We're going to start this off with something that I already had done, actually. You may remember from when I bought this, I complained about the window tint. It was kind of textured and bubbling up, and it was pretty hard to see out of. Here's before. And I got all that replaced with some 35% ceramic, and as you can see, very clear picture through there. I can see everything perfectly. It is legal in Kansas and I think every other state, and it does an amazing job blocking UV light specifically, so my left side does not get hot when I'm driving west, which is always nice. This is definitely worth it. I think it was $350 to have the sides and rear done, and that included removing the old nasty tint, which is really the hard part there. So moving on inside the car, we have my manual climate controls, which is apparently a fairly rare option, or rather a rare non-option on these cars. Usually they have the dual zone automatic, but yeah, these are pretty broken. And I had a really hard time figuring out what on earth the actual part is to that one just fell apart even more. That's impressive. Fortunately, a member of a Facebook group told me what part these actually are. 16230525 knob. That's the AC Delco part number. Got these from GM Parts Direct. Yeah, I just got two because this one still works great. Look at that. Still intact. Ooh, a little cracked though. I might want to maybe reinforce that with some super glue, but let me unbag these and then we'll stick them on there. Oh, aren't those pretty? They've got kind of a nice sort of soft texture to them as well. So let's see here. Ooh. There we go. Okay. Whoa, that's why something was left behind. This must have been out of one of these. Ah, very nice. It's like a GM ASMR right there. Huh, this must be vacuum. Ah, yeah. So, annoyingly, my blend door is stuck all the way hot. I don't have a fix for that yet. I'm going to try pulling a fuse for this. Sometimes apparently pulling the fuse for this module and resetting it will help. Since this is the dumb module, it doesn't have any sort of like PIDs that it exposes, so I can't just scan it or read live data or anything like that. So unfortunately, yeah, I gotta figure out if it's the control module or if it's the blend door actuator itself. I'm not sure which one of those options I hate the most. But now moving on to the object today that I'm probably the most hyped about. This shift knob is terrible. Not only is it this weird squishy thing, it's super lightweight, so it does nothing to smooth out these super notchy T56 shifts, but it also just kind of wiggles around and is, in general, pretty terrible. So let's... Oh my gosh. I guess that just screws off, but one moment. For some reason this requires tools. I just popped that out with my fingers, but then there's this thing. I don't know what you call it. Okay, I have a name for it, but I can't say it on YouTube. So once we get that off. Here we go. Oh, I see how that works. Well, I'll just put this back together in case someone in the future, for some reason, hates themselves enough to like this. But here is the boy that I got to replace it, but first let me stick the jam nut on here. Let's see, has this got a direction? Nope. Okay, so in my Mazda Miata, my NC, I have a Voodoo shift knob. It's a 2-inch steel ball. In the Corvette Z06 we recently gave away, there was a stock shifter with a Hurst 2.25-inch ball, and that made the shifter feel a lot nicer to me. I like a smooth shift feel and a heavy shift knob, so I bought the closest approximation I could to that Voodoo knob, which is this nice spun steel knob. Link will be in the description below, but if we just perch this guy on here. Now, some of you might be asking, why didn't you buy a whole shifter? I know everyone loves the short shifters from a company whose name I cannot remember right now, but the short answer is I'm poor. MGW, that's it. MGW shift knob. Yeah, just couldn't really make that happen right now. Well, that's about perfect. So I'll just get this up here. And I liked the way that the Hurst knob felt. Or I liked the way the Hurst heavier shift knob felt with the stock shifter. So I figured that if I just got a heavier shift knob that was more my size, I would be pretty happy. The shifter is something that you touch all the time, every time you get in the car, so it's worth having something that you like using. Oh yeah. Oh, that is so much more direct feeling. Hey, looky there. A missing fuse. Well, aside from the missing fuses that are for the active handling that I don't have. Fuse 1? RR FOGLP. 10 amp hour. Or 10 amp. Okay. Here's a spare 10. There we go. Wow, that felt like it hasn't had anything in it for a long time. So, yeah, hopefully that solves my airbag light, because the airbag light was tripping because I believe of a whole bunch of other light out errors. Well, here's where the other fuse box is. I tried pulling fuse 18, which is HVAC, and supposedly pulling that for 30 seconds, then putting it back in will initiate a reset of the HVAC system, but I still have no blend door. So all this is going to have to come apart at some point so I can get at that blend door actuator, but for now, I'm going to take the top off because it's nice. And this is why I'm convinced that the alleged flood damage is absolutely nothing on this car, because look at where this is. That's the body control module and the main fuse box in the floor of the car. Nothing would work if that got wet. The car would be done. So I'm going to throw that back together. And actually, let's see real quick. I might have to reset codes, but let's fire it up and see if the airbag light is off now. Aww, it came back. Well, I'll have to scan it again and see what's going on with that. So I'm really liking this shift knob, except there's a lot of unused thread down here. I'm not a huge fan of that. But the shift knob is pretty much bottomed out. So the solution, I mean the real solution is to get an MGW shifter, but the solution in the meantime is to modify my stock one so that there's less thread, because that is a frankly excessive amount of thread. Bordering on insulting. Come on, come on. So we're going to cut the thread. And I'm thinking, so there's about a 1/4 inch down here, so if we just roll this guy up to about a 1/4 inch from the top, it can act like a guide for my totally not at all oversized Sawzall. Now that will kill the taper at the top here, but hopefully chasing the threads with these will help with that. And hey, I'll only have to put this back on there once anyways, so as long as I can get it started once, I think we'll be good. Now, is this the proper tool? No, but am I concerned about it? A little bit. Let's see here. I need a file. That's what I need. There is still a gap. Hi, my name is Jake, and today we will be committing war crimes. I got all the metal sawdust out of here, so let's see here. Yeah, I mean, every little bit that it gets shorter, it just feels a little better. What's next? Cutting and welding this thing? Maybe. Heck of a lot cheaper than an MGW. Honestly, though, at this point, I'm not dissatisfied with that. That feels pretty good, though I've been told by a guy who road races these cars that it's pretty easy to be going from third to fourth and end up in... Yeah, that was third to second. Yeah. And that's third to fourth. Ooh, that is way too easy. The last thing I'm wanting to work on today is this weird zit on the side of the car. This is the side marker lamp, and it just looks really out of place, frankly. Especially on a black car. It just sticks out like an absolute sore thumb, and I want it to go away. So channel viewer Enrique sent me these, which were sent to him by mistake. They are some black LED side markers. I'm not usually one for blacking out lights, but these are just marker lights. They're probably brighter than what's in there, and this will look a lot more cohesive with the black paint when they're off. So I'm a fan of that. It just plugs in, same as the regular light, and then you screw it in there, and yeah, it just holds it in place. Pretty straightforward. I hate this design that GM did. It uses like some self-threading stamped sheet metal nuts, and they are absolutely terrible. So let's go get those off and take the old thing out. So to get to these side markers, there's two T15s, and you take out the tail light, and then you reach in with your arm, and then you have I think this is an 11? Yes, an 11mm socket. You're not going to be able to see any of this because it's all inside the fender. So the light itself is way back there. You just twist and pull to get the bulb holder out, and then this guy plugs right on in there, and you'll have to probably give it a couple tries to get the polarity right, and the whole thing just, and it's locked into place. Away we go. You can see on this one, I already did the other side. You can see how the it's like self-tapped threads with a sheet metal nut. It's real dumb. Anyway. Time for the peel. Nice. Cool. I think I'm a fan of that. Well, there's a first round of easy stuff on the Corvette that a decent improvement. HVAC knobs, side marker lights, and shift knob, and then shortening the shift lever. Not bad. Pretty decent improvement overall. So, thanks for watching.